Guys, so we are going to be having a discussion about police officers. And so I want you guys to send in all your most Blue Lives Matter diehard fans. I want to hear from all the people out there who believe that police officers are a great thing. And I want to know what you guys think. Give me a quick second. Let me share this out real quick. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna share out the link real quick. All right. So I'm back. So froze there. All right. So I had to share out the link real quick. So I want to say cops are trash. Changed my mind. And so I'm back. Saint Stereo, what's going on, man? You one of my favorites. Hey, check it out. So I want to have a discussion about why I think cops are trash, and I want somebody to come and change my mind. Thank you very much, Saint Stereo, for the roses, man. I appreciate that, man. You are the homie. So the reason why I think cops are trash is mainly because of a mathematical type of thing that goes on in my mind, right? So when I look at police officers, I look at them as a whole. I don't look at them as just like a small subset of police officers, and so that people can't just say things like, "Well, not all cops," hashtag not all, hashtag not all. You hear that? Um, yeah. You pretty much hear that all the time, and you my homie too, Saint Stereo. But I look at it mathematically, right? I look at the San Francisco Police Department, right? So they're under a federal consent decree, and I look at it as a cost benefit analysis. They have the highest paid police chief in the entire country, and the starting pay for officers is about $92,000, and that's on their own website. You can look up the starting pay for a San Francisco police officer right now if you want to. And what you'll notice very, very quickly is that if you look at the cost versus what the people are getting in terms of results from the police officers, well, what you're finding is that people aren't exactly getting what the fuck they're actually paying for. So mathematically, if SFPD or San Francisco Police Department is the second largest police department in the entire country, well then by cost benefit analysis, I can reliably say that all cops are bastards, because mathematically that's got to be true. Even if you look at the New York Police Department, right, NYPD, they have paid more money in terms of settlements for police brutality in the past 10 years than it costs to start an armored tank division with the U.S. Army. You could fund an entire armored tank division for the U.S. Army for the same price that the NYPD, right, has paid out in lawsuits. And I can show you the proof. I can show you how to find the proof, right? All you gotta look up is the past 10 years of lawsuits. That's more than $400 million, right? You don't even need that much to start up an armored tank division. Now you need a lot more to operate one, but to start up one, you don't need that much money. So think about that for a second. You're talking about more than a tenth of the money that you would need total to fuel the entire U.S. Army, spent in lawsuits. And the same people who are causing these issues are using military gear. So my thing is that mathematically speaking, if you have an issue with me saying all cops are bastards, then that means that you clearly don't know what math is. Okay, because my thing is that, give me a second, let me make sure I share all the links out to everybody. So I want everybody to come join in, have the conversation. I want people to, I want disagreement. I want people to come in and tell me that I'm wrong. I want people to tell me why, I shouldn't say all cops are bastards. I want to know, because I want you to mathematically prove to me why I'm wrong, because you're going to have a real tough time with that. Because see, I'm the guy who kind of started a lot of this bad cop stuff on freaking TikTok. Because I show people how to do content in different styles. You can do it live style. You can do it webcam style. Showing the actual news article with the webcam down towards the bottom. You could do it with a full face type of freaking freaking webcam with the freaking, like the screenshots of the actual story. You can do it fully animated style. I've done fully animated types of videos, whereas I've looked into KKK cops. I've looked into cops abusing those, like, freaking sexually abusing men, sexually abusing women. I've tackled such topics as are cops' jobs really that freaking dangerous? So I've covered many aspects of this stuff. So I'm the perfect opponent to go against somebody who believes that all cops are good or cops are great. And Pink Lady 516 says the judge for on the trial for the murder of Dante Wright, her voice is so annoying. Yeah, definitely. I think that when it comes to judges, it's not just police officers that we're looking at during this time period. It's also the judges, because the way that certain judges have behaved during certain cases, it is coming back up now. Because you look at Tamir Rice, you look at Trayvon Martin, you look at so many cases where cops, even citizens, have gotten off with killing people, citizens. Really, people have really taken a look at that. They've really taken a pause of that, and they've said it's not just the cop or the racist citizen that we gotta look at now. It's also the fucking judges. Because remember, how did Cosby get off again? How about OJ? How about Brock Turner? Think about it. It's not just the cops you gotta look at. It's also fucking judges, because those motherfuckers are oftentimes the worst. The cops can't get off with killing people without the help of a goddamn judge. And that should really inform your political choices. Who are you electing for judges? Who is letting child murderers walk off? Who let Tamir Rice's murderer walk off and find another fucking job? I just covered a story of a San Antonio police officer who beat a pregnant woman, a handcuffed pregnant woman. And this woman found another job in freaking Texas called, I think it's the Elmdorf Police Department. Her name is Elizabeth Montoya. See, I know those names off the top of my damn head because that's how often I cover these damn stories. I live, eat, and breathe this shit. You want to know why? Because I am the definition of a fucking informed citizen. And I want you to be like that too. I want you to be obsessed with this shit. You want to know why? Because it fucking affects you. Your children, your grandchildren, your family, your friends. It affects every aspect of your life. It doesn't matter how rich you are if a cop gets a fucking warrant for a goddamn no-knock raid because of a shitty fucking judge. It doesn't matter how well connected you are if some random asshole, some random cop can just blow your damn brains out because, oops, I was shooting at somebody else, but you got caught in the goddamn crossfire, and that fucking cop fucking walks off. It doesn't matter how fucking well you raise your damn children if they end up like goddamn Tamir Rice. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make a bit of fucking difference. Does it? Think about it for a second. If you think for a second, a lot of these problems starts with judges. It's those assholes, those fucking overpaid clowns in goddamn robes. Across the world, they have allowed atrocities. And qualified immunity is one thing, but did you know that a judge can just ignore that? That qualified immunity only applies when a judge approves it. Which most times they fucking do. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. I see there are certain statutes in certain states that force them to, but in some states, that's not the goddamn case. It's a federal statute, but understand how federal statutes affect states. And mind you, these are civil cases, not criminal cases. See, when you think about it like that, your problem is not just with cops. When you think about that, the problem is not just with judges. When you think about that, it's not the problem is not just damn parole officers or prisons or wardens or corrections officers. Your problem goes to politicians. Your problem goes to your society. See, let me explain something to you. I want to become a pig farmer in Washington State, right? And I understand that with pigs, so long as you build the actual containment actual correctly and you give them water and you give them damn feed, they will stay in their place. So long as you don't provide a need. Think about that statement. Think about pigs and how you're treated, how you're kept fat, how you kept dumb, how you kept contained. So long as you kept fed. And do you know what they feed you? Bullshit. False promises. Promises during their campaigns. Judges swear up and down they're going to give fair rulings. Cops swear up and down, we're going to serve and fucking protect. We're going to fix your roads. Your children are never going to be hungry. Your children are going to be fucking well goddamn educated. And they promise you all this shit and you never fucking get it. Just like that pig in the goddamn pen. That's why it keeps happening. Because you fucking allow it. You allow it. Last year during 2020, we had riots across the goddamn country. And guess what? What did you hear all these politicians goddamn saying? What did you see cops doing all across the goddamn country? They was taking a knee. Wearing damn dashikis. You saw damn Dianne Feinstein and goddamn Nancy fucking Pelosi wearing damn dashikis. Like they fucking mayonnaise goddamn Wakandans. Taking damn pictures and shit. You saw that shit. Right? Because they saw violence. That's why you saw that. We didn't allow it anymore, but we're allowing it again. That's why it keeps happening. That's why it keeps happening. Once you let a motherfucker know you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, oh, it's over then. But you haven't told people that yet. You allow bullshit. The second that Richard Lee Richards was gunned down and you know, a fucking man in a goddamn wheelchair, the second he was gunned down in front of a Lowe's over stealing a goddamn toolbox, shot in the back, that should have been a time that we got the goddamn pitchforks. But you don't hear shit from the goddamn right wing because he was an old white man. But white lives matter, huh? All lives matter, huh? Except when you're a senior citizen in a goddamn wheelchair. Well, then you should just fucking comply then. Until you're Breonna fucking Taylor. You should just, I don't know, fucking teleport it then, huh? You're goddamn Nightcrawler for goddamn X-Men. Just teleport. You know, when you see bullets coming, just fucking teleport. You know? I guess when you damn Eric Garner and you legally purchase cigarettes with your own money and you sell that product that you brought and you paid taxes on that you never fucking agreed to goddamn pay, but you paid it anyways. And you did it to feed your family. This man has little girls. You were selling loose cigarettes to feed your family, right? But then what happens? You have police officers come and choke you out for it. And we allowed that. And yet you have so-called libertarians. I call them right-wing faketarians. So-called libertarians. Talking about fucking property rights. Right? Fucking property rights. Eric Garner had property rights to the cigarettes that he purchased and that he paid those fucking excessive New York taxes on, okay? Because New York taxes on goddamn cigarettes is high as shit. And he paid those. He paid those. And what happened to him? Choked out for it. Because he was just trying to make ends meet. What is more honorable about legally paying for a damn product and selling it? Yeah, he was selling it for a higher price, but that's supposed to be goddamn capitalism, right? You told me that was capitalism. You told me it was capitalism to go out and purchase a product and sell it at a fucking higher price. You told me that was capitalism, and Eric Garner got choked out for it. That's why I don't believe in your bullshit idea of capitalism anymore. Because whenever a black person tries to fucking engage in it, you fucking destroy it. Black person goes and buys some fucking, goddamn, some weed plants, right?
sell it, kill for it. Black person goes out and tries to get their own damn farmland. You pay, you fucking raise taxes so goddamn high that you place it out of the fucking financial reach of people who you call slaves at one point. And then you insult us by saying that we gave you 40 acres and a goddamn mule when you never actually did. And then you tell us that we don't deserve reparations, right? And I find that to be baffling to me, fucking baffling to me, because even if you count out damn slavery, the civil rights era still fucking happened, right? And by the way, Octo Diver says, good day, sir. Good day to you, sir. How you doing? But still, that happened, right? There's people in Charleston, South Carolina right now who actually came from damn slaves. And they're looking at these houses, right, in Charleston. And 40% of your slave trade in terms of ports came through the port of Charleston. 40%. So almost every black family there came from damn slaves. A good bit of them. And they gotta watch these people live in these big ass mansions that were passed down from damn slave masters. And yet those people living in those fucking mansions that should rightfully belong to those black slave descendants, right? They will tell them, just pull yourself up by the goddamn bootstraps. A slap in the fucking face. And the same people, right? The same black folk, like my mother, my father, older fucking relatives who paid taxes on reparations that was given to the fucking Japanese, Japanese Americans, right? They never saw a dime of reparations. People say, well, what about affirmative action? Most of that isn't used by black folks, believe it or not. The majority of recipients of affirmative action is actually, and no offense to anybody, it's actually white women. I was shocked to find that out. I found it out in 2014. I was researching it, and I want to find out more about affirmative action. And I saw this news article in the Huffington Post. It was from this chick named. It was an opinion piece from this chick named Sally Kohn. Her name is spelled SALLY. KOHN. Sally Kohn. She's this chick. She's I have nothing personal against her, but but the title of the article was affirmative action benefits mostly white women, and there's no problem with that because she saw white women as a minority, and in my opinion, they really are, because white women got shit on too. I mean, they had a lot of benefits, but they still had to live with the fucking slave master. And that could not have been easy. All right. That could not have been easy. So, again, you can't mention affirmative action because we are not the the fucking primarily, the people who are getting it. Mostly that's not us. So when it comes to black Americans, man, we have been fucked through and through in this country. And that's so unfortunate because, the worst part about that is that we love this country so much. When it comes to military service, you find a lot of black veterans. When it comes to people who walk around with freaking fucking flags and shit, that's us. We are patriotic as shit. If you look at the Olympic Games, right? If it were not for black people, how many gold medals would you really get? You wouldn't get shit in damn basketball or track and field. I mean, fucking Serena and fucking Venus has gotten you so many gold medals. I mean, so again, you got to think to yourself, we are very patriotic. And I think that the truest expression of the black story is the one thing that I think I want people to understand. And it's that we love this country. We just hate how it treats us. We love white people. We just hate how some of them treat us. Because it breaks our heart. Because we love y'all so much, And I want you to understand that some of my videos is not meant for hatred. It's just meant to try to give you a different way to see things. I want you to see things through the eyes of someone who couldn't punch down because they're already on the freaking ground. That's why I do the homeless, types of videos, because I want you to see how they're living. I want you to have empathy. I want you to see someone and not judge them by the conclusion of their life. The same way that I want you to look at somebody who's living in the hood and don't judge them by the conclusion in their life. Sage Halo 108 says, where I live, the police are nothing but excellent, nothing but positive experience. The community is over 90%. Well, tell me, what community is that? You don't have to give me a precise location. Just give me the police department. It's mostly white. Okay. Well, give me the police department. I'm just very, very curious. Because if it's mostly white, I mean, of course, you're not going to hear about a whole lot of issues in terms of police, because police mostly target minorities. And I've done videos, Utah. Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, off the top of my head, Utah, there's a whole lot of child molestation cases that actually happened in Utah, thanks to the Mormon church. I wouldn't go there. I just wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go, especially if it's rural. Oh my God. I wouldn't. Oh my God. I tell you what, I'll do a deep dive just for you. Listen, I shit you not, about 3 years ago, I was looking into this. And let me tell you, there's a whole lot of rape cover-ups that happens at those particular police departments, especially when you look rural. Now, that video that there's actually a deep dive that I did on my channel. If you look back about the police officer sexual abuse of minors and women. So I cited a study from 2014 from the University God, what's that? I can't remember their name now, but they were saying that there was a sharp rise in police officers sexually abusing minors and women, and that there was a real problem in real rural areas, meaning that the more rural that you go, the worse the problem gets. So, given that you have the Mormon church in freaking Utah, and given that you're talking about a rural area, are you really sure? You sure about this one? In fact, I will invite you on. Do you have a camera with a phone? I will invite you on. Because trust me, I've taken this challenge every time. I've done this so many times. I am kind of an expert at what I do. And usually I don't like to mess with a lot of small time police departments. But if you're challenging me to prove that they are actually trash, I'll do that. I hate to do it, but I'll do that. Because I don't like to mess with a lot of the freaking, I know that some of my videos can draw a lot of attention, and I don't want to make a whole lot of trouble for small towns unless it is deserved. Not a challenge, just a point of view. What do you think makes your town so much better? What do you think the job of a police officer is? Just out of curiosity. Like, what do you think the definition of them of a cop is? And what do you think their duty should be? So basically, I'm going to give you 3 simple things. 1, what do you think a cop should do? 2, what do you think the definition of a cop is? And 3, how do you think an ideal police officer would behave? I think those are 3 pretty precise questions. You said Utah. I want the name of the police department. Because there's got to be a reason why you're not giving me the name of the police department. Respectfully enforcing laws. Respectfully enforcing laws. That name sounds familiar. Who was snoring? That is my dog. My dog Aphrodite. She's snoring. That's my dog right there. See? She's snoring. She likes to sleep right next to me. She's very needy. Daddy, you gotta stop snoring, girl. God, everybody can hear you. But yes. So Okay, so you say respectfully enforcing laws. Uh, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I don't think the job of a police officer is to respectfully enforce the laws. I think the job of a police officer is to enforce the laws that people agree with. You want to know why? Because suppose a law is passed that is unconstitutional. Suppose there is a law that says, "Hey, everyone can't wear the color pink." How do you respectfully enforce that? How do you respectfully enforce laws that are unjust? And you see, that's as soon as you answered that the way that you answered it, there's a reason why I asked the question the way that I asked it. Because in your answer, you always give it away. Respectfully enforce the drug war. If you know, respectfully if enforce homeless encampment laws. Respectfully if enforce free speech laws. You can't respectfully enforce unjust things. So if your first idea is for police officers to enforce things that are on some books, then I would already challenge you that maybe your idea of policing is all wrong. Just something to think about. Respectfully. Uh baby B boy says they don't have any respect. Sage Halo 108 says I'm with you there. Right. So we just have low crime rates. Yes, because you're probably a small town. Small towns tend to have low crime rates because you don't have you don't have that many people. I've had many people make those comments, and I'm going to give you a simple refutation. Think about it for a second. The reason why a desert is barren and desolate is because there's nothing to freaking steal, right? So of course you're a small town in rural Utah where the population was already low. But if you're in like a small rural freaking town already, you're not gonna have that many people to even like steal from. So your small town is not gonna have a whole lot of people like a whole lot of crime. Much in the same way that that low crime is gonna hit places like Europe because there's gonna be less supply but also less demand from a smaller population size. Where you have high population rates, you tend to have a lot of crime. So, with that being said, you might want to consider that maybe the reason why you have low crime is because because you don't have that many people. But I will also challenge you that low crime numbers can be manipulated, and people like me, I specialize in exposing that manipulation. But again, I will challenge you in terms of your definition of what you think a police officer is. A police officer is a public servant, and a public servant never enforces laws that are unjust. And that is not subjective. Laws that are unjust are things that don't clearly have a victim or are clearly not in the public's interest. Things like forcing a homeless person off of public land. It's called public land. If even one person agrees that person should be there and they pay taxes, they stay. That's how it works. But let's say that you see somebody being assaulted, that's when you intervene, because then you're creating a victim. But when you enforce things like the freaking drug war, also Corey Williams 675, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Welcome to the Church of ACAB. But again, when you enforce things that don't have a clear victim, what you're doing is you're not only eroding the public's trust in your services, but the problem is that you are showing people there's a reason to not trust you. Baby B boy says, right, there's a beneficiary, the elite class, absolutely. Sage Halo 108 says, we have a handful of homeless people that we care for as a community, absolutely, and that's why you have no crime, because you as a community have reduced crime. See, you should give cops credit for doing that. You did that. You did that. Through donations and awareness. Yes, you did that. The cops did not reduce crime. You reduced crime by reducing need. See, if people needed money, if they needed property, if they needed food in your particular community, you would see a lot more crime. So your efforts, sir, I would summarize to you, is what ultimately produce crime. So give yourself credit for this. Don't give pigs the credit. You deserve that. You did that. You the citizen. You the citizen empowered yourself to go and help the people in your community who need it the most. And I commend you for that. Do not give cops the credit for doing that. They didn't do that. You did that. So no, once again, we are back to square one. And see, swinging figure eight. Swinging figure eight says we are guided by policy. Need to change the policy. Policy, somewhat, but we gotta rethink policing altogether. Baby B Boy says mutual aid is community defense. Absolutely. Such a whole 108 says it's in concert with the police. Absolutely not. No, because suppose you weren't doing it. Suppose it was just the police reducing crime, and it wasn't you doing it. The crime will be out of control, and I can prove it. It's a small town in Sumter, South Carolina. It's called Sumter, right? And Sumter and North Charleston in 2007 combined to lead the nation for about 2 weeks in homicides. And South Carolina only has 5.1 million people right now in that whole state total. One of the lowest populated states in the whole country. Yeah, Michael Middleton 139. Yeah, he will tell you. Michael Middleton will fucking tell you. Sumter and North Charleston led the nation in homicides. It was crazy. North Charleston was fucking nuts, bro. It was out of control. And those were small towns. So it wasn't the cops that was doing this. Hold on, give me a second. Stop doing it. It wasn't the cops that was doing this, right? It was the lack of resources. So Sumter has no resources. You know, it's hard to find a fucking job there. You know? And North Charleston is even worse. You know, you go to freaking there's actually a place in North Charleston called Ashley Phosphate Road. I guarantee you that if you go on Ashley Phosphate Road at the wrong type of night, you will be shot, you will be robbed. Guarantee you. I guarantee you. Like the man from freaking suit freaking warehouse said, I guarantee it. I'm telling you. Like Charles Barkley, guaranteed. Yes, guaranteed. Yes, sir. So it's the lack of resources that created the crime. It wasn't, just people just going out of control. Where you have a lack of resources, you're gonna have high crime. So that is a direct example, a counterexample that you can look up right now. And someone in the chat is from the area that I just mentioned. And I didn't even know that person was going to be in this chat. And you're seeing right now that what you're thinking is probably wrong. Cops don't reduce crime. What reduces crime is solving needs. Because when people are stressed, and the process of fucking stress is just unmet needs. Right? During the process of making more stress, you create need. And by creating need, you create a reason for someone to go out and commit crime to solve their need. If you're starving, it makes sense to rob a damn bakery. Does it not? Yes, you could work for it. Right? Sage Halo 108 says, who's responsible to reduce need? Everyone. If you are a citizen of any country, if you are a citizen of any territory, if you are a fellow human being, it is your duty, your responsibility, right? To help your fellow man. You want to know why? Because let's say that you say that you are not your brother's keeper, right? And let's say that your brother's house is directly next to yours. And your brother's house catches on fucking fire. You can say that's his problem. But if that fire spreads, you're fucked. That's why. See, the way that I explain it is through the lens of a natural disaster. because it is an uncontrollable force, a fucking unstoppable force. But it's a problem that we all face, meaning that it's a task that we must all defeat. And if in any aspect we must rise together to defeat a challenge, then we can do it all the time because we've already shown the capability. See, when that hurricane came, I remember Hurricane. I remember Hurricane Katrina. I remember that. I remember people of all ages being scared. I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And it was horrible. But I saw racist people. I saw black people all working together because they had a common enemy, a common threat. And I would surmise to you that police officers, crooked cops, which pretty much all of them are crooked in my opinion, politicians, judges, shitty ass lawyers, I would surmise they are our hurricane. I would surmise they are an earthquake. I surmise they are a freaking tornado. I would surmise they are a damn tsunami that we must face together. This whole shit, whereas in the black community, 50% of the crime, 50% of the population, that dumb shit's got to go. This whole shit of black people saying we should only care about black victims, that's got to go.
Reminds me of.
All right,
ACAB.
all right. Ghostly, how you doing?
What's up?
How you doing? So, are you here to debate, or are you here to just like comment, or just shoot the shit, or what? What's going on?
I smoke crack.
You smoke crack. That is interesting that you do that. I would recommend that you do that. I would suggest that you don't do that. That's a bad idea. Not good for your health. Not good for your health. So, that is, interesting. You should never do that. That's not a flex. You're correct. That's not a flex. That's actually a really bad problem. Please go get help. If you do that, please go get help. Go see a therapist. Go to a hospital. Don't go to cops because that won't end well. Go to a hospital, please. Get some help. I'm like Michael Jordan over here. Stop it. Get some help, But back to the main topic. Listen, think of this whole problem with police as a hurricane or a natural disaster. And when you think of it like that, you can think of it in the mindset of it being all of our problems. It doesn't matter if you're in the All Lives Matter camp or the or the Blue Lives Matter camp, Black Lives Matter goddamn camp. If you think that police corruption and police brutality is a problem, then treat it like a goddamn problem. Let's see. Angry Collector says, how many good cops does it take to change in a light bulb? I don't know. I have no idea. Swinging Figure 8 says, we are all in the same damn boat. Absolutely. Because I'm as outraged about Tamir Rice as I am about Richie Lee Richards. Man in a damn wheelchair being gunned down from damn behind. I mean, that's some shit that even gangsters wouldn't do. That's some shit that even gangsters wouldn't do. That's some boldness. You wouldn't see that boldness from damn MS-13. Even they aren't that fucking bold. And Angry Collector says, when a good cop changes anything, I will let you know. Wow. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Do you mind if I steal that and put it on a shirt? Anyways, guys, I have a merch store you should check out on my page. I made a couple of good shirts. That's a good one, man. That is a good one. But the one thing that I want to spread to some of my my white followers, man, is that I don't dislike you. I love you, actually. I want to give you a fucking hug, to be honest with you. I just want you all on board. You know, you don't have to be on board with the Black Lives like fucking matter shit. I would love you. I would love for you to. But if you're just on board with just holding cops accountable, I can live with that, man. I can live with it. You know, I got people who don't agree with me that I know follow me, but I can live with that, man. Bro, just question cops, yo. These people are walking around with fucking guns, bro, and qualified immunity, right? They're walking around with guns. They're killing kids, bro. They're murking kids in broad fucking daylight. That should worry the fuck out of you. Bro, there are gangsters who don't do that shit. At least the motherfuckers in damn Chicago do that shit under the cover of goddamn darkness. No, cops do that shit in broad fucking daylight. Like it's Grand Theft Auto. I mean, shit. Even in Grand Theft Auto, you get a goddamn star. That's fucking crazy. They go out and murder